So I will be doing a full playthrough of scenario number 1 from Tabletop Simulator for Frostpunk, the board game. The game is currently on Kickstarter. So this is the prototype version of the game on Tabletop Simulator. I already arranged the table as I was instructed in the layout of the board game page. Uh, these are the discontent tokens and the hope tokens that I drew. The morning events were shuffled. The top card of the social dispute was placed on top of this dusk deck. Four new laws were randomly drawn and placed here. The board looks like this. All the resources are on their spots. Two technology cards are visible. The goal of this scenario is to survive round 12. So the first scenario card advise you to construct the beacon. So you have until the round 4 to build the beacon. So at the start of round 4, if the beacon is built in the city, go to A, otherwise go to B. So if the beacon is built, uh, is -1 discontent token and +1 hope token, and after that turn scenario card number 2, so this one. If it won't be built, it will be -1 apathy, and play scenario card number 5 on the display event deck. This is the scenario card number 5. At the start of round 10, turn scenario card number 3 if it is still face down, then remove this card from the game. Okay, so we are going to be starting with the action phase. Since in the first round you do not have to resolve any of the other phases. So I have 5 workers, 3 engineers, and 2 child tokens, citizens. First thing that I am going to do is put some coal into the generator, at least one for now. So I'm going to be placing one coal here. I'm going to be taking the hit marker and place it on the first space. And I am using one of my workers. No, I'm going to use one of my engineers to do this snow action. So also these were shuffled, these were shuffled too. I am going to suffer one cold, one sickness. Now I am going to take 2 tiles A and place them here and here. Let's flip those, let's lock those, and we have here 2 wood and 2 trees. These are the resources for the first tile, and 2 trees. And here we have 4 coal. 1, 2, 3, and 4 coal. Okay, that was my first action. I'm going to build, I think, a gathering post over there, and maybe 2 hunter's hut for my for my second action. Yeah, for my second action, I'm going to take a worker, and I'm going to build a gathering post for 1 wood and 2 hunter's hut for 1 wood also. So I will be needing 3 wood to build them. Hunter's hut, I will be building this one here, since it is a yellow insulation level tile here and the gathering post here. I will be using this gathering post, so I'm going to put one more coal uh, marker into the generator. This is a free action, you can do it anytime. Um, now I hope all these zones heat up, so no sickness is going to be taken if I use any of these tiles here. I will use another engineer and place it on this platform. So let me lock this and this. So I'll be placing it on this platform, and I will place this low here. So I'm going to take the child shelter low. So it unlocks the child shelter special building for 1 wood, and you can build immediately after introducing this law. And also I have one hope token that I am going to take from this uh, pouch here. Okay, next I am going to shuffle one of these 2 cards into the dusk deck. So it is shuffled. This one I'm going to discard it. Delete. And also this deck here is going to be deleted because I cannot use that law anymore. So that was my second action. My third action, I am going to place another worker into to this no action. I am taking a sick token, and I'm going to be placing a B tile here. We have 3 coal and 2 wood, so I'll be taking 2 wood and 3 coal. Next, I have one more engineer that I can use. I will be taking one more snow action with 1 worker. So I'm going to place this worker here. You can place any number of workers from what I understand in these 2 spots, building and snow action. So another sick worker, and I'm going to build another. I'm going to discover another B tile. So this one is a tile with a steam core. Okay, now I'm going to use 1 worker onto the gathering post, and I'm going to gather both of these steam cores, 1 coal, 1 wood, 1 wood, 1 wood, another wood, and a coal. So I'm gathering all these resources from that action, and I still have 1 more worker and 1 engineer that I can use. I am using I am using a worker to do another building. action. I am building this child shelter for 1 wood, since I have discovered that since I have introduced this law that allows me to do that. I am going to build, so for 1 wood I'm going to build that. I'm going to build a tent for 2 wood, and I still have 1 wood left that I am going to use to build either workshop, hunt. I think I'm going to build a workshop so I can upgrade one of my buildings for 1 wood. Okay, so for wood I am going to place this tile here, since it has a red insulation level. I am going to place this tile with the tent here closer to my generator, and I'm going to place this shelter here. Okay, so now for my last action I am going to, I can take that engineer and upgrade something in my workshop. I have already 2 hunters hut. So I am taking 1 engineer, placing it here. I can also do a technology card. This one is good because I already have hunter's hut, 2 hunter's hut. So I think to build to use that I can take this technology token and place it on this card here, and I will have this technology. Let me check on the rulebook. So this is the workshop. So workshop. When build, reveal the next face down technology card. I didn't do that, so I can reveal this card over here. You can use automatons as engineers. Okay. Spend 1 Steam core to upgrade a small building by flipping it over. Remove any 1 technology token from the building board. Place the technology token on a technology card. That card is now active and can be used. So yes, we can do this. So if I am going to place this here, I will gather 1, 2, 3 additional raw food for 1, 3, 5 hunter's hut. So now I have 2 hunters hut. I will be gathering 1 extra, but when I will have 5, I will be gathering 3 extra food. So I will be doing that. I will be taking this technology token here and placing it on the hunting tactics. So this card now it's active. I'm not using any Steam cores for this action, I think. Yeah, I don't have to use any Steam cores. So that's it for the first action. Now to the dusk phase, I am going to draw the first card here in the dusk phase and flip it over. The inevitable, each gravely ill citizen dies. 1 citizen gets sick for body one citizen gets sick for body tokens you have. I have one body token because this is the way I started the game with. So one citizen gets sick. Okay, so let's say the child is going to get sick. Okay, this is not discarded. This will remain here. It is not removed from the game. Okay, next it is the hunger phase. Reduce hunger using the food as much as possible. So we have no hunger now. Feed citizen based on the round number. So we have a child turn now to feed. We have 8 children, only 4 food. And we are going to have a 4 hunger next turn. That was it for the hunger phase. Night phase, return all citizens in the in my possession. So I have 2 engineers and 1 worker here that I am returning, and all these are going to be returned also. Place citizens in heated shelters. So for the children I have built this shelter that is heated here, and I have built, I think, 1 tent. I have a tent here, yes. Only tent that I built in the first round. So I am going to place 2 workers in this tent. And my rest of the meeples will get sick, so I have 3 engineers and 3 workers that are going to get sick. This worker from 4 to 7, this engineer from 1 to 4. Okay, that was it for the first round of the game. There are 12 rounds uh, to be survived. So by the fourth round I need to build the beacon. Okay, now for the round number 2, move round marker. Resolve event tokens. We don't have draw and resolve a morning card. So this is the morning deck. We are going to draw the first one and resolve it. Young adepts. The writing is very small and I do not see it very well in this tabletop simulator. So you have 2 options: send engineers to teach them, young adepts.
So my headset microphone battery is depleted, so now I'm using my PC's microphone, so I don't think I have a good sound, but I don't have anything else, any other headset with microphone right now. So we reveal this event card. So send engineers to teach them, place this card on the events display and place 1 child engineer meeple, place 1 used engineer token in your supply. So that means that I am going to lose 1 engineer token for a while. Or place this event and place 1 child worker meeple on this event display, and so I'm going to lose either 1 worker or either 1 engineer. But my child meeples are not working. They are just I don't think I have introduced this child shelter law, so they are not working, but I think this card is still in effect because it doesn't say anything about that law over there. Okay, I am going to choose option number 2. So place this card in the event display. I'm going to place this card here. Placed one child meeple on this card. So I'm going to place this meeple here. Place one used engineer token in your supply. Engineer. Place one. No, I said worker meeple. So I'm going to lose one worker for at least one turn. Okay, and add card number 45 to the task deck. Let's search the card here. Card number 45. It's this one. I'm going to add it to the task deck and shuffle the task deck, my guess, because it doesn't say anywhere shuffling, but I'm sure it should be shuffled. Okay, and this was it for the morning phase. Now the generator phase. Add seek based on the hit token track. So I'm going to flip one token to the other side. I'm going to flip one child. So one child gets sick. Next, place a malfunction cubes in the generator bag. So there is one malfunction cubes, and I'm going to roll this die, but it doesn't matter the result. I'm still going to roll a 1, so I don't have to roll it now. Reset the hit tracker. Next, draw a weather card. Let's shuffle this again. Flip. The storm is getting 2 spaces closer. Next, this token here moves 1 space. I have 2 hunting huts. I get 5 food, but I also have this hunting tactics, so I get 1 more food, so 6 food. Okay, and I have no expedition. Okay, next is the preparation phase. Resolve 6 citizen tokens. So I'm going to turn this one here and move it by 1 space. The engineer only moves by 1 space. The child moves by 1 space. Nobody died. And now the action phase. I have 1 less worker for this turn. Okay, let's take all the citizens back from the shelters, and now let's move on to the action phase. First, I'm going to use 2 coal tokens, both coal tokens, and place this hit marker on space number 2, so everything here is heated up, and also this workshop is heated up because he's insulation level red. Okay, so everything I do, it's not going to affect me in sickness. So I'm going to take 1 worker and place it on the gathering post. I'll be gathering 1 wood, 1 coal, another wood, another wood, another wood, and 1 more coal. You gather 1 resource from each space, not from each tile. So a tile has 2 spaces, you can gather both spaces by the gathering post. Okay, next I will be doing this snow action again with an engineer. So I will be taking an engineer that is going to get sick and place 2 range at 8 tiles, 1 here and another one here. Let's lock them up. So 3 wood and 1 wood and 3 trees. Okay, so this is another good tile to have one gathering post. I could gather from here, and here. Okay, that was my second action. Now for my next action, I think I'm going to build again. I try to build this beacon. I need 3 wood for this beacon. I want to build another tent or a bunkhouse maybe. If I want to build another tent, I will need 2 more wood, so 5 wood. I only have 4, and I would like to build also a medic post this turn, so I would need 6 wood for all these. 3 plus 2 plus 1, I have 4 wood. I think I'm going to gather these 2 wood from here, so I'm going to take a worker and place it here. I have 3 wood here, not 2, so I'll be gathering 2 wood. Okay, so now I am going with another worker to the build action. I'm using all my wood, so 6 wood to build the beacon, for 3 wood to build a medical post for 1 wood, and a tent for 2 wood, so 6 wood. First I'm going to build the beacon. I can place it anywhere I want because it is a white building and it doesn't matter. So after you build the beacon, you draw 2 cards from expedition A. Let's shuffle them. So 1 card and the other card. So we have completed this first scenario card that we are going to resolve in round number 4. That was my first build action. For my second, I'm to place this tent. I am placing it here, so now I have shelter for 2 more of my meeples. And this medical post, I am going to place it here. Okay, I have 2 engineers left in my possession. I will go with one of them onto this workshop, and I will upgrade. I can upgrade maybe this beacon, or I will upgrade this medical post. I can also upgrade that medical post in this turn. I think for now I'm going to upgrade, so I'm using a steam core here to upgrade my beacon. So I'm upgrading my beacon this turn. Okay, so I'm adding 1 more A card, and I can send 2 of my meeples in expeditions. I will be sending 1 now. I will be placing it, this one has 4, this one 3, and this one 4. I will be placing it here, my first meeple on this card here, to reach campsite, so he will come back with some resources. This meeple, I don't know what is this question mark for, but I will be sending my next meeple on this expedition. And for my last action today, I will be sending my engineer on the medical post and flip both of these tokens to their syringe side, so none of my meeples will die if I flip this. So this was my action for today. Now for the dusk phase, I am going to draw one more card from here. Social dispute. If most of your active tokens are, I have a draw here. I have one apathy active and one motivation active. Okay, if there is a draw, apply the result of all tokens that made it up in order above. So apathy is the first token. Turn sickness tokens for each active apathy token. So I have one apathy token active, so I'm guessing that I will be turning one sickness token to the other side. So I'll be turning this child token again. And I also have one motivation token active. Motivation, take one resource from the board plus one for each active motivation token. Okay, so I'm going to be taking one resource from the board plus one for each active motivation token. Okay, so I'm going to be taking two resources from the board. I will be taking this wood. It doesn't say it has to be the same resource. I don't think it has to be the same resource. Plus one for each activation token. Yeah, and the other resource is going to be this steam core here. So I took two resources from the board. After resolving discard removed from the game, shuffle the dusk discard pile and the top social dispute card into the dusk deck. So this one is going to be deleted from the game. So I'm going to take this and shuffle it, and also the first card from here and shuffle it into this dusk deck. I think this is how it works. I'm not 100% sure, but my guess is that is how to do it. This was the dusk phase. Now for the hunger phase. Reduce hunger as much as possible, so I have a hunger level of 4. I'm going to reduce my food by 4, and I'm going to feed all of my engineers. Now I have 12 engineers, only 2 food, so I have now a hunger level of 10. Okay, that was for the hunger phase. The night phase, return all citizens to your supply. Okay, this worker here, this one, and these two engineers. I'm going to return them to my supply. Also this, I think this one too. Okay, now I have to place citizen meeples in heated shelters. I don't know about this one. Anyway, I have four spaces for child, but I don't think this one should be in a shelter because it's on that card place. But either way, it doesn't matter. In this gameplay, I have two tents. I will be placing two of my workers in one of the tents, and I am going to be placing one worker and one engineer in my other tent. They are both heated, so every homeless citizen gets sick, So I have 2 engineers and 1 citizen that is going to get sick, are going to get sick, and that was it for the second round. Now for the third round of the game, down phase, move round marker, resolve event tokens. I don't have any event tokens. I have only this event card that is not yet active because I think Dusk card from here will activate that event card. Generator phase, add seek based on the hit token position. So we have again, you have to turn one token to the other side. So I'm going to turn this engineer. Next, place malfunction cubes, another malfunction cube. I'm going to place it here, and again I will be rolling one for sure, so I'm going to be placing it here. I don't have to roll. Reset the hit track position. Weather phase, I'm going to draw a weather card. The storm is going to get one space closer, so now it will hit in round number 6. These two markers are going up by one space. I have now 1, 2, still only 2 of hunter posts. I will be building next turn another 1 or 2, so I'll be getting 4 plus 1 from here, 5 food rations. And my meeple is going to go all the way here on the campsite number A. I will be turning this and read it. American camp. We have found a camp of the American expedition. I can return now with 3 food and 1 steam core. I already have steam cores, or I can continue and add a B expedition card on top of this one, and I will be doing that. So I will be placing it, I think, like this. So I will be getting this 3 food and 1 steam core, but not just yet, and I will be placing my meeple on the next space here. Okay, that was it for the weather phase. Now preparation phase, resolve citizen tokens. So this one is moving one space, this one is turning and moving one space, this one is turning and moving one space, and one engineer is going to die. So now I will draw a body token from here. I think this is how this works, and flip it over and get a -1 hope. Because of that, I'm going to be taking the motivation and place it back in the bag. Update citizen meeple numbers. It will remain the same because I didn't cross this line here. I still have 3 engineers. Preparation, and now for the action phase. I will be getting all of my meeples back. So I will try to build another tent this turn, or maybe a bunkhouse and maybe 2 hunters hut. This meeple will remain on this card here, and I would like to introduce a new law. Maybe these food additives, you can reduce hunger by 12 by using 2 food once per round. Okay, so the first I'm going to be placing my hit marker on space number 1 for 1 coal. To place it here I will need 2 more coals, but now I only have 1. Uh, so I can gather coal from here and not get sick, or from here and get sick. I think this shell, I forgot to take it from there. I will be taking one of my workers and placing it here so I can gather 2 coal without getting sick, since this tile here is heated. I will be using these 2 coal to put this heat marker here. Okay, so now I can use my worker here without getting him sick, and gather 1 wood, 1 coal, another coal, and the wood. So I have gathered 4 resources. I have 3 wood, 3 coal and 2 steam cores. I would like to upgrade another building, so I'm going to be upgrading. I'm going to take this engineer. This is a red tile, so I won't get sick, and I will use 1 steam core to upgrade this medic post, and now I can heal 4 of my citizens when I use it, not only 3. Okay, so for my next action I am going to introduce a new law. As I said, 1 engineer on this platform, and I am introducing this food additives law, so I can use it during the hunger phase for 1 discontent. I am shuffling one of these 2 cards into the dusk deck, and the other one is going to be deleted. Also, these cards here are going to be removed from the game completely. Okay, I have 2 more meeples in my possession. I will build for sure this turn something. 3 meeples. I have also 1 engineer left. So I'm taking a worker and do this action. First I'm going, I cannot yet dismantle this gathering post, unfortunately, so I only have 3 wood for this action. Yeah, I'm going to take this worker and place it here to gather these last 2 wood tokens. So now I have 5 wood tokens. I am going to be building now 1 I think I'm going to build 1 bunkhouse for 3 woods, and 2 hunter's hut for another 2 wood, so 5 wood in total. Okay, I am placing this bunk house. Now first I'm going to be place this hunter's hut here. This bunkhouse here, and my last hunter's hut I will be placing it here, because it doesn't matter, I won't be using 5 hunters hut during the same turn, or 4. I think I have now 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 more and I will be gathering 3 additional food every turn. Okay, and now for my last action with an engineer. I have but I will take this engineer to build. not that worker. Oh no, I am going to leave it like that. Okay, and for my last action, I think I will be using this medical post here to flip these tokens to their to their to the other side, but this one is here, so I'm going to lose one meeple this turn, and I think this engineer also uh, means that I'm going to lose one engineer and one worker for the next turn. I think I will be needing another medic post to build. So that was it for action phase. Now the dusk phase. Can discard each gravely ill citizen dies. One citizen gets sick for body token you have. For sick body tokens you have. So each gravely ill citizen dies. So I don't have any gravely ill citizens, but I do have two body tokens. So two citizens will get sick. So this child, I'm going to get him sicker. That was it for the dusk phase. Now to the hunger phase, I can use this hunger now. So I will be using this one here. Reduce hunger by 12 by using 2 food once per round. Reduce hunger by 12. I have a hunger by 10, but I think I can reduce it to 0. If I use this action, I will be using it. So at the start of the hunger phase, you can reduce hunger by 12 using 2 food once per round. I'm using 2 food, and I'm going to reduce this hunger level to 0, and I will get 1 discontent token for that. It's an inactive anger token. Reduce hunger when using food. I have 0 hunger now. Feed citizen based on their number, so now I have to feed workers. So I only have 3 food, and I have to feed 25 workers. So I am going to only feed 3 of them and place this token on 22. Good thing I built this hunter's huts. I need 1 more to gather more food from that. Now return all citizens to the supply. So these come home, that one, these 3 engineers, and also this one. Now I'm going to be placing them in shelters. I now have 1 bunker house and 2 tents, 1 and 2, so I can place 6 of my meeples. I have 7, so one will stay out. Yeah, I'm going to lose anyway to engineers. So 1 worker will stay out, the rest will have shelters. So 2 engineers, 2 workers in the tent here, and I have another and the bunker house there, and I will be placing these two here. So one worker got sick. Okay, so now on to the fourth round. Now this effect here will trigger because of this round marker. Are we alone? So place an event trigger token on. Okay, at the start of round number 4, this is round number 4, if there is a beacon build in the city, go to A. It is a beacon build. We did it -1 discontent or +1 hope. Turn this scenario card to. I will be choosing +1 hope. Okay. And turn scenario card number 2. I think this one is number 2. This one will stay here. It doesn't say discarded anywhere, so this one gets deleted. And the next thing, finding winter home. Place X500 on expedition display. You must finish this expedition before the end of the game or you lose. I already have 3 slots occupied. It doesn't say you have 4 slots, I think, yeah, so I can place it. The X500 expedition on the display. Okay, so this one, I will be placing this one here, and I need to finish it before the end of the game. So I have 8 more rounds to finish that expedition. That is a long time, so it's no problem. After placing X500, choose A or B. Let the refugees enter to the city. +1 hope, 6 workers, 2 engineers, 3 children to the population, or -1 hope. I will be choosing option number A, +1 hope. So let's draw one more hope token. Okay, 6 workers. So from 25, 31. How many? 6 workers, yeah, from 25 to 31. So now we have 6 meeples in available. 2 engineers, so from 11 to 13, and 3 child. 3 child to your population and discard this card. Okay, this one gets discarded, but I still have to finish this one before the end of round 12 to not lose the game. So that was this action here that I finished it. Now for the morning phase, draw and resolve the first card, a poet, +1 discontent. I have a justice active, so I can do the second option. So you can choose this only if you have active justice, so I can place 1 used token in your supply and add d20 to the dusk deck. Okay, if I have justice, I will take this second option. So place 1 used token to your supply. I will be losing 1 worker for today, but I am gaining 1 worker from here. add 20 to the task phase, D20. Okay. And shuffle. And discard this card. Okay. It doesn't say you have to shuffle it, but my guess is you have to shuffle it because it would be the next card that you draw. Now to the generator phase. Add sick based on the hit, so one of my meeples is going to get sicker, this child here. Okay, malfunction cubes, 2 cubes. I will be placing them in the generator and roll these 2 die. Both of them will be placed here. Next, we set the hit marker. Weather phase. So no storm today, but all these tokens are moving up by 1 space. So now to reach here I will be needing 4 coal tokens. I have now 4 hunter's hat, so 4. I will be gathering 2 additional food, 2 additional food plus 8, so 10 food for this round. But my hunger level is at 22. And I will be moving 2 on this expedition. I need to move 3 more spaces to reach the top of that expedition, the card. Next, it is the preparation phase. Resolve sick citizen tokens. So this one is going to move by, is going to turn and move by 1 space. The same with this one, turn and move, and the same with this one, turn and move, and I will lose another worker. So 2 workers are going to be lost this turn. Update citizen meeple number, but I will be getting 1 more meeple for this worker here. So I am placing it in my possession. I have 3 kids and also 1 more children. Okay, so now for the action phase. Let's take all of my meeples back. Okay. And I will lose 2 workers. So I only have 6 workers today, and 3 workers and 3 engineers. And now for my actions phase. I can introduce a new law to help me with my hope. Care house, public house, time to rest, remove 1 discontent token. At the start of preparation phase, cure 1 for each medical post infirmary, but no more than injuries. This is a very interesting law, so I can cure my workers like that at the start of the preparation phase. So next turn I will be able to do that from next turn, but not now. And I will be getting an active anger token for that, but it's very interesting, this one, so I'll be choosing that low, I think. But first, let's hit up the generator. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 to have all this heated up, and I only have 3 coal in my possession, so I will be using my first coal to get to here. I need 2 coal tokens now to heat this zone up, so I used both of my coals to get there. I'm using 1 worker to gather 2 more coal from here, and now I can use these 2 coals to get here. You can get coals from wood with this charcoal crane, so 1 wood can be can be switched for 4 coal. This one is a good card, this is a good building. So now for my action phase. First I will be introducing that law. I am going to the platform and I am introducing this law here, protect the indispensable. So this one can be used in the preparation phase, but now I will be getting an active anger token. I think I need to search it from here, and I think like this should be placed. I'm not 100% sure, but this is what the image said. I'm shuffling these 2 cards. One is going to be discarded and the other one shuffled back into the dusk phase. Okay, so I can have 1 more low, and I have 4 more workers or engineers available to me. I will be using 1 engineer to upgrade this hunter's hut here. So I'm upgrading this so I can get 8 food from here. I really need food this turn. I am taking my worker and placing it here on this upgraded building, and I'm getting 8 food, so 18. I still need food to reach, to feed, to at least don't suffer the hunger consequence. So I have 18 food. I think I will be doing another hunt action for a +5 food, so I'm going to 23 food. Okay, and I have only 1 more action remaining. I will be using this medical post, I think. I really need to turn these all tokens, because I will have 3 meeple, 3 citizens dying if I don't. So I'm going with this engineer on this medical post. I cannot yet build another one because I have 2 meeples blocked here. So, and I wanted to send another one in an expedition, but I cannot do that also. I have to do this, so I'm turning all these tokens back to their syringe phase, so no one will die when I turn them again. So that was for the action phase. Now for the dusk phase. A feast of leftovers. Add 2 sick citizens depending on the current round. The current round is round number 4. Add 2 sick citizens depending on the current round. Reduce hunger by 3. So I need to reduce hunger by 3. Yeah, so hunger will drop from 22 to 19 and add 2 sick citizens depending on the current round. The current round is 4, but why depending? I don't get it, but I think I just have to add 2 sick citizens. 1, 2. Depending on the current round. Yeah, that was it for the dusk phase. I don't think I have to do anything else. I don't know why it says depending on the current round. Okay, now reduce the hunger as much as possible. I can again use these food additives. And I think I will be using this law again. So at the start of the hunger phase you can reduce hunger by 12 by using 2 foods. If you do that, discontent -1. So I will be getting 1 more discontent token. And I am going to use 2 of my food to reduce this by 10. So from 19 to 9. Okay. Now reduce hunger using food as much as possible. So 9 hunger, I am using 9 of my food, so I am placing this on 12. Okay, resolve feed citizens. Now I have to feed the kids, so I have 11 kid citizens and 12 food, so I will be feeding all of them today. Return all citizens to the supply. So this worker, this worker, this worker, engineer, 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 and both of my workers. I'm not sure if I should return this, but I think so, because they were unavailable for today, but now they are available. Okay, now I have to place the meeples on their tents. So again I have 1, 2, 3, I have 6 spaces, and now I have 3, 6, 8 workers. I am not going to be placing the 2 engineers, so 2 engineers will stay outside, and the rest of my meeples are going to stay inside a tent. Okay, that was it for today. And every homeless citizen gets sick. Yeah, I have 2 engineers that are getting sick. I have 12 engineers, 12 sick engineers, and also 11 sick child. So all my childs are sick, almost all my engineers are sick, and half of my workers are sick. So I need to reduce these tokens here. For that I will need to build another medical post. I will build another hunter's hut, I think, and maybe this charcoal clean to get some coal in the next turn.
Okay, I am back with my headset microphone. So now let's go on to the down phase. Move round marker Resolve event tokens. I don't have. Draw and resolve a morning card. Provide shelter. Promise that you will no one will ever sleep in the cold. +1 motivation. For this card I would need another shelter to be built. I already have uh, uh, 3, so I will be needing to build another shelter uh, to use this card. Promise that most of the citizens will have shelters. For now I will be choosing this number 2 option, so I will be adding a card number 13 to the dusk deck. So search card number 13, shuffle to the dusk deck, and I will discard this card. Okay, generator phase, add sick based on the current track. So I will be getting one citizen sick, so I cannot do this with the child because I would have to flip this token. So I will uh, choose a worker and make him even sicker. So I can now use this card in the preparation phase. Okay. Uh, Place malfunction cubes. I'm going to be placing 3 of those and roll the die and only be getting 1 malfunction. Next, reset the heat track marker. Weather phase, draw a weather card, and the storm is going to hit now in the round 5. This by 1, this by 1. I have now still 4 huts plus 2 food. So 8 plus 2 food, I have 10 food. So I'm good with food. And this meeple here will advance 3 spaces and he will complete his expedition and he will reach the campsite. Now let's resolve this other card. Storm shelter. We found a solid shelter with survivors, so we can escort them. We get a 9 by 3 worker. Uh, 9 worker. I don't understand what this 9 by 3 means. 9 by 3 and 4 food. 9 workers. I think 9 workers. 9 workers times 3 or by 3. This should be more clearer on the card. I don't know why they put it like this. It's not clear at all. I am going to be returning back with 3 food, 1 steam core, plus 4 food, so 7 food, 1 steam core. So 7 food, 1 steam core, 7 food. So I have 18 food and 9 workers. I don't know why it's like that, but I'm guessing it's 9 workers. So now we have 40 workers and 7 meeples for those 40 workers. This worker is coming back in our supply. Okay. Next preparation phase. Now we can activate this law here. In the preparation phase, at the start of the preparation phase, cure 1 for each medical post infirmary, but no more than engineer meeples you have. But now I don't have any gravely ill token, so I do not have to cure anyone. Resolve sick citizen tokens at the start of the preparation phase, so I cannot resolve it after, I think. Yeah. So like this, and this one cannot go further. So if I want to move it further, I will need to do like this. And because I cannot move it further, I think I'm losing a child. This is how I understand this. So I will be turning this again. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose a child because of this. This is how I think the rules are written. So yeah, when your child dies, you get the option number 2, so -2 hope. Okay, this justice token is inactive now. Okay, now I am updating my citizen meeples number, so now I'm getting one more worker. I have 7 workers in my supply, but uh, one will be unavailable. Also, one child and one engineer. So I think this is how you do it. And now for the action phase, let's take everyone back from their shelters and placing them here. I should have 7 workers here, 6, 7 and 1 unavailable, yes. And 3 child tokens, one here and one here, yes. And 3 engineers, yes. Okay, so now for my action phase. I really need some wood and some coal, and I don't have enough to build a gathering post. I think I will be needing a sawmill. I can only get 1 coal from here, so I won't be doing that. I am taking 1 worker. No, yeah, 1 worker. I'm going to take 1 worker and take these 2 coal here. He is going to get sick. Oh no, because of this storm hit us, all these tents are useless now. So I will have to dismantle these tents and place bunkers instead of them to not get more sick. So 1 worker here. Now I have 3 coal. 1, 2, 3. I still don't have enough to power this one up, but I am going to use 2 coal to power my basic. to power everything I have here, and also these red buildings that I am going to use. I really need to build something, and also to to gather some wood. First, I am going to take this worker in this expedition. When taking workers in the expedition, as I understand it, they do not need shelters. So I will be taking another worker and be placing it into this expedition here. I am taking one engineer. I can use this one now. Cook home. I can discard 4 food. I have a lot of food. To either discard one discontent or gain one hope. I will need to feed the engineers now, and I will be able to feed them anyway. I can place any kind of meeple over there. I'm not going to do that right now, but I still need some wood. I really need to build stuff. I can take one engineer here to the workshop. Mm. Yeah, I'm taking back my workers because first I am going to place my engineer here into the workshop. He's not getting sick, and place this technology token on this card now here. And now when you start expedition or you continue, when you move one space forward. So I will be starting the expeditions now, but I will be starting them one space forward with my workers. So the next card, if it's going to be a 3, I will also complete this expedition and maybe find some wood that I need. But now I need to gather some wood, but I don't have. I will be able to gather from here and here if I dismantle this one, and I will be dismantling also this one. So three wood, and I will be able to build one bunkhouse with 3 wood. So yeah, the first action, I'm going to dismantle this tent, and this gathering post. So I'm going to be placing them back into the supply, and I am getting 3 wood for that. Next, I can dismantle. The white buildings cannot be dismantled. No, I don't have anything else that I can dismantle and use. But I would like to build now another medical post, and maybe a sawmill and a hunter's hut, but maybe just the sawmill and medical post with 3. I will be doing that. Okay, 3 wood. I'm building this sawmill and this medical post because I need them both very much. I'm placing this medical post here, and this sawmill I'm going to place it here instead of this coal. I'm discarding that coal. Now I can use them both. No, sawmill I cannot place it here because I have nowhere to gather wood from, so I will be placing this sawmill here. I can upgrade it so I don't get sick when I come to this tile. And now I only have 2 more workers. Unfortunately, I do not have 2 engineers. I will go with this engineer to this medical post just to I don't have to cure them both because I will be able to use this protect the indispensable action. So I will be able to cure 2 of these uh, tokens. So I will be choosing to cure 4. I am curing my worker 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. Okay, and my last worker. No, I have two. I have 1 more worker because that one wasn't supposed to stay there. So I can get 8 food because this one is upgraded, but I have a lot of food. I don't really need food right now, but every action I'm doing here, here, or here is going to cost me. No, I'm going to this sawmill. I'm getting 1 sick worker because I do not have this place heated up, and I am gaining 3 wood. And now I can build a bunker. I think I will build that bunker. I need shelter for all my meeples. I have a lot of meeples. So I am building this bunker for 3 wood. Uh, Now this bunker house is on orange level, so orange buildings are heated up no matter where I put it. I'll be placing it here. So all the orange buildings are heated up. So this sawmill is also an orange building, so I shouldn't have gotten a sick worker from this one. My mistake. Okay, so that's the end of this round, this phase. Dusk phase. Draw and resolve a dusk card. I think these are all bad. Successful education.
So successful education, and now this card I think will activate. So change your child meeple to a worker engineer child meeple from the E21 card. This must be, yes, E21 card. So change one of your child meeples to a worker, you can use that child as a worker, then remove both E21 and 45 cards from the game. So I'm changing this child meeple with a worker meeple. I used a worker meeple. Okay, you can use that child meeple as a worker, then remove both cards from the game. Okay, I'm going to remove this card from the game. I am going to place this meeple here. I have one more worker in my possession and remove that card. Dusk phase, now hunger phase, reduce hunger using food as much as possible. I have a hunger level of 0 now because I fed everyone. Now for the feeding phase, I have to feed all my engineers. I have 13 engineers and 18 food. So I am going to be placing this one on 5. Night phase, return all citizens to the supply, and I will see what meeple I am going to be placing it in my shelter. Also these one here are returning. All these are returning. I think this child worker is still going to the shelter for children, so I don't think I will occupy that. I need to occupy a bunker house for that. I have 4 spaces here for the bunkers. But when the storm marker hits, I think it will go back to space 12. I don't know exactly. I think it's somewhere here in the rulebook. Okay. Hmm. Increase the generator cost by 1. By 1 and move the storm marker to the space 12 on the round tracker. Yes, the storm marker is going to go again on round number 12, flipping it to the other side, showing the second storm. Okay, increase the generator cost by 1. I didn't do that before, so I will be doing. I think I need to flip it like this. So like this, and I will be using 1 coal because I haven't used it to get it started. I think this is the way you should do it. Okay, so I think that's all with the storm marker. I am on the round 5 of the game. I did finish the hunger phase. Now for the night phase, I have only 4 spaces in my tent, so I have a lot of meeples now. I will put these 2 meeples here and 2 engineers. I'll be placing 2 engineers in the other bunkhouse, so I will have 4 meeples sick. So 1 engineer and 1, 2, 3, 4 workers. I have now 2 medical posts. I have this one here and this one here, so I will be using both of them now to recover some health, and hoping these expeditions will finish, at least this one, so I can gather maybe some wood. Okay, so now the next round. So round number 6, event tokens. Now draw and resolve the morning card. Illegal distillery. Some of our citizens consume alcohol from an unknown source, so let them have their moonshine. They're adults after all. Place 1 used token in your supply, or the last option, discontent. Only if you have justice active. Unfortunately, I have justice, but it is not active, so I will be choosing option number 1. Let them have their moonshine, they're adults after all. I will discard this card and add card 46 to the dusk phase. Card 46, it is this one. Shuffle and discard this card. Okay, generator phase. So I will be flipping 1 token and also getting one of my meeples sick, so I'll be flipping this one and getting also this one sick. Place malfunction cubes, only 1 malfunction, but there are 3 in the bag, and I will place 2 over here. Okay, reset hit token, hit marker. Next, for the weather phase, draw a weather card. This second storm will be 1 space closer. Also this one and that one over there. I have 4 hunters huts. 1, 2, 3 and 4, so I'll be getting +2 and 8, again 10 food, but I'll be needing to feed my workers that are now 40. And I move 3 on this track here, so 1, 2, 3. This expedition is going to be finished, and 1, 2 and 3. Next time I think this X500 expeditions path to winter home will be also finished. So return 4 wood and 2 coal, or we can continue. I will definitely return now with this meeple, so I'm getting 4 wood and 2 coal. I need them both very much. So that was all for the weather phase. Now I can use this card here at the start of the preparation phase. Cure 1 for each medical post infirmary, but no more than engineers meeples you have. I have 2 medical posts, but and 3 engineers, so I can cure 2 of my meeples. I don't want to get this worker die, because I will lose 1, so I will flip this and cure that worker, and this in this engineer here or this child. Oh, if I cure this engineer, oh, he will be getting, he will die anyway. Oh, this one should have been here because of the child death earlier. So I am, there are so many sick people here in the camp. I don't think I will rest this round. I am going to cure this child. These actions are for free. So now resolve 6 citizen tokens. So I am going to lose a worker. This one is going to flip twice and move. 1, 2 and move, and I'm going to lose one worker anyway. So I'm going to lose one meeple also. And let's see this token. Nothing, no hope lost for this one. For the next one, the same thing. I am going to lose an engineer. I'm flipping it, and again one engineer will die this time. -1 hope. So we still have 2 hope because this motivation is active. And also a child, but he is not going to die yet. I am flipping it. Oh yeah, because I would have to move it 1 space further, but he cannot move 1 space further. He will also die. So 1 child will be lost for this turn, and he is dead. So if I lose 2 hope, the game is going to end. So no, not yet. I am only losing this active hope token, so I am still alive. Now for the action phase. Let's take all my meeples back. And place them here. I will lose 1 child token, but that doesn't matter. I have a lot of meeples in my possession, but not a lot of resources, so to activate this marker here, I would need 2 + 1, 3 coal tokens. I only have 2, so I need to gather some coal. I will be gathering 2 coal with this meeple here. He is going to get sick, so I have 18 sick workers. Now I can activate this hit marker for 3 coal. So all of my actions here are free, and also the orange actions and the red actions. That's good because I don't really need the yellow ones. Next, I have to go with this meeple here and try to heal 4 So I'm healing 1, 2, 3 and 4. With the second engineer I'm going to the second medical post. So this is heated action because it is on this tile here, and I'm going to seek to cure three more citizens. I'm going to cure 3 more engineers, 1, 2 and 3. That's all with my engineers. I have used them both, and I now have 4 workers that I can use, and I really need to use that bunker house. I have also that workshop, but I have no more engineers that I can use. I will go with my child worker on this sawmill, and I'll get 3 wood. Okay, I will be building now. I can build 2 bunker houses, and also that hunter's hut. Or maybe I will be the charcoal clean for to get more coal. So I'm going to build now. I'm building for sure 2 bunker houses. So bunker house, and I have 1 more wood, or I can dismantle something. Maybe I will dismantle this workshop, because I don't think I'm going to use that last upgrade, because I need engineers, and I'm not getting engineers because I need them both to use this medical post here, but I won't be able to build something now if I am dismantling that one. So I'm not yet dismantling. I'm going to build this other hunter's post, or maybe a gathering. No, I cannot gather many things with that gather post. So I'm using 7 wood to build 2 bunker houses. I can place them a bit further. This hunter's hut, I'm not going to use it to hunt, so I can place it all over here, all the way here, and this one I will be placing it here. Okay, I have 2 more workers available. I can use this hunt action, or maybe I can use this action here, yes, and I am going to use this. I'm going to use this cook house, so with 4 food I will be able to discard 1 discontent or get 1 hope. So I will be getting 1 hope. I will activate this motivation, and with my last worker I can gather some food. And I think that's all. I cannot do anything else with my last worker. So I'll be gathering 8 food. I can uh, do this action to find more more tiles, but I will be getting sicker and I won't do that just now. So I'm getting 8 food for that action, so 19 food. So that was it for this round. I think it's going to be my last round. Now for the dusk phase, draw a dusk card and resolve it. Exhaust all discontent or minus. This one was the card with the poet, so I can exhaust all discontent or get -1 discontent. I will be getting -1 discontent or exhaust all discontent or get -1 discontent. I don't understand if it's a -1 token or -1 discontent in generally, but I will exhaust all my discontents. So I have 5 discontent but no active discontent, and this card is going to get deleted. Hunger phase, reduce hunger as much as possible. I have again no hunger. I can use my food additives here. I need to feed my workers. I have 39 workers and only 19 food. So 39, 19 food. So I will be getting 20 hunger in this round. Okay, return all citizens to the supply. I don't know for sure if these 3 should be returned to the supply, but my guess is that they should. I didn't find anything in the rulebook telling me otherwise. So I now need to place them in heated shelters. So my 3 child meeples, I'm going to place them in this child shelter, and I have now I have 4 bunk houses that are all heated, so I have room for 8 meeples, and I do have room for everybody. So at least none of my meeples will get sick tonight. This is a first. The first time when I have heated places for everybody. So I'll be placing them in their bunker house. No one is getting sick today, but they will tomorrow. Okay, so now I am going to move this marker to the round number 7. Morning card. Fear of the food crisis. Promise that hunger will never be a problem. Promise that they will have enough food to feed the hungry, or ignore this demand. I will be choosing the second option. Promise that there will be enough food in the supply to feed the hungry. So I'm adding card number 17 to the dusk deck. I'm shuffling it, and this card is going to be discarded. Generator phase, add seek based on the generator position. So two of my tokens will be turned and one is going to get seeker. So at least no one will die. I'm turning this worker and this engineer, and uh, this child is going to get more sick. Hit marker is going back. Malfunctions markers, I forgot to place just one, and if I roll only two cubes are in the back, so I'm safe for now. I'm placing both here, but next time I will have a generator malfunction if I don't resolve that option. Reset the hit track position. Now draw a weather card. If I draw a 3, I will complete that expedition. No storm today, but all these are going to be going up one space. I have 10 I have 10 hunters hut, so I have all of 5 placed, and I have also this hunting tactics, so I'm getting 3 additional food plus 9. I'm getting 12 food this round, and I am going to complete this expedition here. 1, 2, and that's it. Okay, so expedition the fall of winter home. After a long and exhausting march, our people came back with news about winter home. Apparently the settlement was destroyed by a generator explosion. There were no survivors, however they have found some resources in the snow. Reveal scenario number 3. So generator breakdown, you have to build a ventilation plan before the game end or you lose. Okay, and what's next? Round 7 or earlier. If I am in the round 7 or earlier, I am in the round 7. So I'm going to be taking the first option. I get 10 food, 3 coal, and 1 steam core. So 1 steam core, 3 coal, and 10 food. So I have 22 food now. This nipple is going back to my supply. Okay, next it is the preparation phase. Resolve 6 citizen tokens. So, but before preparation phase, I can still use this law here. So at the start of preparation phase, cure 1 for each medical post infirmary, but no more than engineer's meeples you have. So I can cure 2 of my meeples. So I'll be curing this engineer and this worker. And now the child is not going to die yet, and also the engineer is not going to die yet, but I will lose him. Uh, the worker is going to die because uh, because I will have to flip him twice. So 1, 2, and he's dead. One more dead body. Another hope lost. So I still have one more hope. If I hadn't made this action here, now the game would have been lost. Okay, preparation, and now the action phase. Okay, let's take them all back, and back. So I have -1 worker and 1 engineer. They are both very sick. And I still have 3 engineers, 2 engineers left and 6 workers. So now I have 4 coal to hit this. Here I need 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5 to hit the generator in range of 1. So I need 5. I only have 4 coal. I will use child worker. This is a child worker. Yeah, I am using this child worker to gather some coal, because I can do that now. So I'm getting 2 coal, I'm getting this child sick. So now I can heat up my generator for 2, 3, 4, 5 coal, and I have 6 coal. I'm going to use 5 coal to heat up this generator. Okay, and everything here is heated up, and also everything with red and orange is heated up. I am using this engineer. I have to use this engineer to do this action in the medical on the medical post. So I'm healing 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I am using my other engineer to the other medic posts to flip these tokens to their syringe side. And now I have 5 workers available. I cannot use this generator ability here because I have no engineers available. So now I'm going with 1 worker to this care house, and with 4 food I am getting 1 hope token. So now I will need to build a ventilation plan before the end of the game. It costs 4 wood and 1 steam core and has to be placed on one of the spaces around the generator. So the ventilation plant should be somewhere here. Yeah, the ventilation plant. It's not a big problem to build it, but I still need to survive round 12. So I am going with 1 worker to this sawmill and getting 3 wood. I am going with this worker here, and because I have this technology, lighter scout sleds, when you start an expedition or you continue one, move 1 space forward. So I think this applies even when you continue one. So when you draw a B card, again you place it 1 space forward, but not when you draw a weather card. I don't think so. So I have 2 more meeples that I can use. Also, I can build. I have 3 wood. I really need some steam, some coal now, so I will be placing 1 meeple here. I will try to build this charcoal clean, but before I think I will dismantle. I am dismantling this workshop, yeah, because every time my engineers will just go to the medical posts and I will be dismantling this workshop. I will be dismantling this sawmill, but I just can't now because I have a meeple on it. No, I can't. I don't. I would dismantle this platform, but I think this one cannot be dismantled since the game, since it was one of the buildings that I started the game with. So I don't think I can dismantle this building. So I will be dismantling this workshop. I'll be getting 1 wood, and now I can build 2 other things. I will build this, and I will be build another sawmill. So for 4 wood, for all my wood, I will be building both of these. I will be building this one here instead of that coal, and this sawmill, I am building it here instead of this wood piece. Okay, and now with my last worker I am going to this new build sawmill, and I will get 3 wood out of this, and next time I will be able to convert 1 wood into 4 coal if there is going to be a next turn. Okay, that was it for my actions. Now to the dusk phase. So social dispute. Apply all effects for each type of active discontent token you have. I have no active discontent token. I have 1 active motivation token. So if all of the discontent tokens are exhausted, choose 1 -1 discontent, place a new A or B tile on the board, or perform a build dismantle action ×3. So I can perform a build action for free, place a new A or B tile on the board, or discard 1 discontent. So I can now build something for free. I can build another charcoal clean, but it will be very hard to keep it warm because it's a yellow level. I can build this coal thumper. Okay, I can build this coal thumper with all my wood. So let me see exactly what the coal thumper does. Okay, coal thumper action, gain to coal. Passive ability, gain to coal if you use an adjacent gathering post. But I do not have any gathering posts still available. I would build another charcoal kiln, but I need to place it somewhere. If I place it This hunter's hut is a bad placement for this one here, because I'm never using it. I have this one upgraded. Place a new A or B tile on the board. I can do that also. That I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to build. I think I'm just getting -1 discontent. So okay. After resolving this card, remove it from the game. Shuffle the discard pile and the top of the social dispute card into the deck. So this one. So this one gets deleted. This one and these both get shuffled here. I have 8 cards now here. Okay. Next it is the hunger phase. I can use these food additives low. Now I will have to feed the kids. I can feed them, so yeah, I will be using these food additives low. So at the start of the hunger phase, you can reduce hunger by 12 by using 2 food, and you get -1 discontent. So I'm be placing this at 8. I get a discontent token. Now I'm feeding the children. I have 10 children, but first I have to resolve this hunger. 8 hunger, 8, 8. I have to feed 10 children. I only have 8 food, so I'll be having 2 hunger. Okay, return all citizens to the supply. Okay. Next, place every citizen in heated shelter. So I have everything here heated, and also these bunker houses are heated because they are orange. So everything is heated. So the child workers, the childs are going to the shelter, and I have 8 more spaces for everyone else, and I have 8 workers, so everyone again gets to sit in heated places. Okay, so no one gets sick. Okay, so now for the next round, number 8. Move round marker event tokens, draw and resolve a morning card. Heated workspace request. So if I have +1 justice, add promise that they will work in the buildings with weak heating. Yeah, so I will be choosing my first option because I have heated places, so +1 justice. So I think I'm going to search a justice token from here, and I did found a justice token. Add 14 to the dusk deck. Not like this, search 14. I'm adding it and shuffling it. Then this is going to be discarded. Morning phase, generator phase, add sick based on the heat track position. So 1, 2 will be turned and 1 will get sick. So 1, 2, and this child is going to get sick. Next, malfunction cubes, I'm placing 2. And it is a breakdown, so now I think all these cubes are removed. This token is turned, and I also think that this generator cost will go from 2 to 3. This is how I think it works from what I read on the rulebook. Reset the heat track. Weather phase, draw a weather card. We don't have, we have, we'll work on the expedition. The storm is getting 2 spaces closer, so next turn it might hit. Only this one will be getting there. I have 5 huts, so 8 plus 3, I have 11 food. Uh, 2, this one is going to get here. Preparation phase. Now I can use this protect the indispensable, so I can cure 2 of my meeples. Okay, next this one is going here, and this one is going here. This one I will lose again a worker, and he is getting here, and he's getting 1 and 2. He dies. Another hope token lost, so this justice is going to be lost. Okay, thus preparation and action phase. I am going to get everyone back. From here and also from here. I am losing one engineer, one engineer, one child, and one worker. And now for the action phase. I have just 1 coal. Now to hit this one I need 3, 4, 5, 6 coal I need. I only have 1 coal, so I am getting 1 child worker to this charcoal cleaned to change 1 wood into 4 coal, and he is going to get sick, but I still do need 1 more coal. I have 5, I need 6 coal to get to here. And I am going to take 1 worker and take it here and get 2 more coal, and he is also going to get sick, so I am going to lose 2 workers for this. But now I can heat up my generator. 6. Okay. Okay, so now I am going to do my actions, and I'm going to use 5 coal to heat up everything here, and every orange and red building. I'm going to take 1 engineer here to no, here to heal 4. 1 2 oh, this should have this crust the number of children, so I should have turned this around like this, yeah, and 1 child is going to die. Only -1 hope, so we are still okay. Okay, so this child here is going to get sick. No, he's going to get well. 2 3 4, this one was the 4th. I am going to take 1 worker and place it here, and spend 4 food to get 1 motivation. I do have a child worker. Where is I used him here. So I do have another worker that I'm going to use with this sawmill. I'm getting 3 wood. I now can build this ventilation plant, but I will need to discard 1 building already, 1 already built building. I think I'll discard this hunter hut. So I have 2 more workers. I am going to use 1 worker to dismantle. I have to dismantle this hunter's hut and also this sawmill for 2 wood. So sawmill, hunter's hut for 2 wood, and I am building this ventilation plant that I need to build. So I'm using 4 wood and 1 steam core to build this. So this now is built, and now I just have to survive 4 more rounds to win the game. I have 1 more engineer active. I can still build something. Also I can build here a wood reel, a house with 4 wood. I don't have 4 wood. Infirmary or hot house. Coal mine. I can and I will do that. I will go to this platform and install a new law to get 1 more motivation token. I need a motivation token. Public house. I will be installing this time to rest law, and I'm getting 1 hope token, and now I can do this action phase, exhaust one justice, add one used worker engine token to the supply, remove one discontent token active or exhausted, or activate care and motivation. Okay, so that was my last action. Now to the dusk phase. A poet liberated. Reduce your population by 2 workers and 1 child. So 2 workers and 1 child. This is not bad. Now I have 2 meeples, 2 child meeples. For the workers, nothing changes. Remove 3 resources of or all of your resources that you have. So I need to remove 3 resources. So I'm going to remove this steam core, this coal, and this wood here. Okay. Add 22 to the dusk deck and remove this one. 22. 22. Shuffle and delete. Okay, now for the hunger phase, I will be feeding today the engineers. First, by reducing my food based on my hunger. I need to feed 13 engineers. I only have 5 food, so I will have 8 hunger. 9th phase, return all citizens. So these are all my meeples. I have 1 less child, but in the preparation phase I will update my number. So everyone will have a place to stay, because I have this hit marker here. So these 2 here, all the children will go into their home. These 2 will go here, and my last 2 meeples are going there. Okay, no one is homeless. Move round marker. Okay, so now the second storm is hitting. So when the second storm hits, the second storm will remove the storm marker from the game, add 1 to the generator start cost. So the generator now will cost 4 to activate. This storm marker is going to be removed from the game. Flip all the bunkers on their coal side. So the bunkers now become useless. I will have to build houses instead of these bunkers. Okay. I think this token's blocked. I don't know why. Yeah, they are locked. Okay. Now for the event phase, for the morning phase, prostitution, turn a blind eye, exhaust one hope for +1 discontent. I have already 9 cards here, so I am going to turn a blind eye to this at 47. 47. Shuffle and discard this card. Generator phase, add 6 of the current position, so 2 and 1 is going to get 1, 2, and this one is going to get 6. Update no weather phase generator, press malfunctions, 2 malfunction tokens, so only 1. Reset the heat track marker. And now for the weather phase, the storm doesn't affect us anymore, so this one here, I have now only 4 huts available, so 4, 8, not 8, 7 plus 2, that's 9 food. I will be finishing this expedition, so 1 steam core. I don't need 1 steam core, so I'll be continuing this. Send automaton home. You cannot continue. You can, I think, send automaton home. You can send 1 automaton home and place a C card, a continue expedition C, I think. If I choose that option to continue, I think I will shuffle card 700 into the deck. Well, there is no card 700 to the deck. Or maybe this one here. No. So shuffle D700 to the deck, but I don't have a D700 to shuffle to the deck. So yeah, I will be getting 1 steam core back, or I will be placing a expedition card number C next, so I'll be doing that. And I'm starting from here, but I cannot resolve this action to shuffle that card because I do not have it. I guess this is the prototype and you don't have all the cards in place. Okay, now the preparation phase. I can use this protect the indispensable, so 2 of my meeples are going to get better. Okay, now to the next phase. I am going to lose one engineer. Yeah, this is the last body token I can place. I don't know if the game is lost yet. -1 hope. Or should I put one more? Uh, if the death track is full and another citizen dies, so the game is not yet lost. Okay, so we will be able to do our action phase with our remaining citizens. We have again -1 worker, -1 engineer, and -1 child, and we only have 2 child remaining, so yeah, this token shouldn't have been here because it's more than childs that we have, so this should have been there and turn it to the syringe side, so it is not yet dead. It's only, oh no, it is dead. Yeah, it is another child that dies, and I have no more body tokens that to place, and yes, the game is lost in the round 9. Yeah, so that was all for this gameplay. Bye bye.